helping me blow my brand up. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we manage like all the back end systems and help them monetize the brand.
Okay. All right. So tell me, give me an example. 10-second conversation. What's the package look like?
Typically, it depends on how big the influencer is, but either it's free with commission, or it has like a small upfront fee of like probably $2,000, and then on commission after that.
Yeah, if they're small. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So how much? So by the way, so it's like, hey, we're gonna take control of what? What are you gonna handle for me? 10 seconds. What are you gonna handle for me?
All the back end systems, the funnels, we'll build out all the monetization systems, basically everything like
So
that, as well as like
we'll help you with CRM, landing pages, whatever you need. We're going to help you with all technology, so you can take what you're good at and you can get out there on the market and monetize it and make money. Is that right?
Yeah, I always say that we have like we take the business side over so that they can focus on growing the brand.
Cool. I love it. Hey, you don't even have to think. We're going to handle it so you can do what you do best.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. All right. So listen, so let's say, I'm just giving an example. Let's say that I'm not a big influencer, right? So I'm like, and I'm on my way up, right? But I'm not there yet. And you're like, hey, Andy, it's going to be $2,000 plus we're going to take a commission and we're going to help you. Does that make sense? That's kind of what, and I say, man, dude, I appreciate it, man. But look, dude, I'm working my ass off to build this business and I'm just not willing to pay, part of what I'm making each month as I go, because I know I'm going to keep making more money and I just don't want to give any of that away. You know what I'm saying? All right, go.
Yeah, I completely understand, Andy. Typically, the way that we do this is it's based off of like you're going to either pay someone a lot of money up front or you're going to pay them a lot of money long term through over the commission. But what we do is we handle basically everything you have. So it's based on what your time is worth, right? So if you look at what your time is worth versus what we're actually going to be doing, you're not going to have to learn all the stuff, and you can pay for things in two ways, either time or money. So if we're able to save you all the time on learning all the skills to be able to create the business and the life that you deserve, would that offend you in any way?
Good job, buddy. I like that. That was really good, man. I love that. By the way, listen, what's the number one? By the way, you did a good job. I really like that. You handled yourself well. Like, I love that, dude. Now, there's lots of different ways that I was thinking, but the way that you did it was really good. So I won't even mess with you. I thought it was awesome. Okay. Give me the top objection you get.
Usually just like I need some time to think about it and think things over.
Let's go there. Because that's important to me. Like, what do you see, right? Not what I'm thinking about. So I want to say, and I want to hit you with that, and then I'm going to kind of role play with you. So it's going to be like, hey, I really appreciate you. But I need some time to make a decision. I don't know if I can, make it on this call. I need to talk to my whatever, X, Y, and Z person, right? Go.
Yeah, of course. Completely understand. So typically when I hear like someone tell me that same thing, usually it's one of two things. Usually it's either the deal, which I know that we already talked over the deal and you said that you thought it could really help some of your pain points, or it's something to do with the numbers of the deal. Which one would it be?
Good job, dude. You're killing it. And by the way, let me ask you a question, all right? By the way, I want to tell you something that I like to do. I say, hey, no one, great question. I'm glad you told me that. Do me a favor, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. Can you grab a piece of paper?
Yep.
By the way, this is what I do when I'm closing. I'll tell the client, hey, look, number one, thanks for being transparent with me. I've always told you to be honest with me. Do me a favor, grab something to write with. Just grab something to write. You got a pen, got a piece of paper, you sit down somewhere where you can talk to me, because what I'm about to tell you is going to change your life. Okay? Write this down. Turn decades into days. Turn decades into days. One of the things that I learned from a good friend of mine named Patrick Bet-David, he said, what you need to do is figure out how to operate in speed. He said, speed is your greatest weapon. And he said, most people sit around paralyzed in fear to make a decision, and they operate off indecision, which is what leaders don't do. Leaders make decisions, quick decisions. They know what they want. So I'm going to tell you what I want for you and what I see with you. I see that if you say yes on this call, I am going to parallel leap you over all the other influencers in front of you and put you in the front of the line and turn decades into days. What would take most people 30 years to do, we will be doing in the next 90 days. And by the way, speed. How fast can you get to where you want to go? I like fast wins. Do you like fast wins? If I can take over your entire back-end operations, if I can make sure that you don't have to think about anything except go and do what you love to do, where your brain is operating in a good place. I know how influencers operate, okay? You're a creative. You're an artist. You know what you want to do. You have your message delivered to the world, and people need to hear it. But when you're thinking about this side, it dilutes and waters down what you're greatest at. Would you agree?
Agreed.
What does that cost you?
Everything.
Cost you everything. While you're paralyzed in fear, while you're wondering why you didn't make it, it's one simple thing. I want you to write this down. You ready? Abundance mindset. The abundance mindset is something that you don't have, and you must get on this call right now. I'm going to give you the opportunity. I'm going to ask you again. If I can ensure and guarantee that you, which you deserve to get the results, that you should know what you're capable of, I will take you there. I will handle the operations. I will handle the back end technology. I will make sure that your mind doesn't have to think, or even every single thing on this back end. I call it the tech brain, that the influencer brain does not want to get involved in. The tech brain kills the influencer brain. I see it every day. That's why we're going to handle it. And by the way, listen to me. If you could take what you're currently making now, and we took a little piece for my niece, right? Okay. A little sliver for the liver, like Bradley says, a little tad for Brad. You know, I'm just fucking around. You see Brad say it all the time, right? But I could get a little piece, but then I could do 20x more than what you're doing now. Well, hell, really, at the end of the day, it didn't cost you anything. What it cost you not to do it is millions. You got to do me a favor. I want you to write this down. Write down the price. Okay, I want you to write down the price, and then I want you to write down the close. And the amount of deals that are lost, not in the information that's given, not how this product works, not on what we can do for you, not on how this onboard works, not on what my service is, but from the minute that you give them a price, that to the close is where everybody loses deals. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to write this down. Do I believe in my product? And if you believe in your product, I want you to understand a couple things happen if you don't peer pressure them. You got to get aggressive, dude. And I'm being honest with you. You got to tell people the truth, okay? Listen to me. You're not a liar. If people sit around and they don't get tied in with your back end products, there's a good chance, number one, they won't make any money. They'll quit. They'll go back to their old W-2 job, and they never made it as an influencer because they didn't have the resources. Rich people are resourceful. Poor people aren't. Okay, so you gotta make sure that they understand that, like, there's this parallel leap, right, that they can go through, and you got to make sure that you understand this. Number one, if you don't peer pressure them, by the way, I just want you to do what's right. We wouldn't be on this call right now if you didn't believe that getting someone to help you their back end was the right thing to do. Wouldn't you agree?
100%.
Okay, good. So there's good decisions, bad decisions, and indecisions, and we know this. Losers live in indecision. Winners at least make a decision. I want you to make a decision to stay the same or make a decision to grow, but we're going to make a decision on this call. Okay, now listen, the reason why I want you to pressure them is because I want you to pressure them to do what's right. That is it. Listen, if you don't pressure them, here's what's going to happen. Number one, they could end up struggling and staying the same, and that's not okay, because you're not going to let people stay the same and continue to struggle with what they're struggling with. Number two, it could allow them to go do business with the competition who charges them less money, who's a fucking amateur, and they don't know how to do their job. So, like, dude, like, say, hey, listen to me. One, two things, three things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to quit and you're never going to make it. You're going back to your old job. That's number one. Okay, and if I'm involved, I'm not going to let that happen. Number two, right, you're going to end up doing business with someone else that doesn't know what they're doing, and then literally you're going to end up wasting your time, and you're going to be doing business with an amateur. I see it done all the time. And then you're going to be like, I knew this didn't work. Bro, I told you I was going to handle it, and you didn't listen to me. Or number three, you're going to continue on the path of what you're doing and struggle and stay the same, which I'm not okay with. Listen, I want you to understand there's this thing called the amygdala. You've heard of it before, right? Hit him with the amygdala.
Yep, I have the sheet of paper on my wall.
That's my boy. Hit him with that old amygdala close. That amygdala, it's real. It sits on your spine, and every time you go to make a decision to better your life, that amygdala comes out. And you know what it does? It tells you, don't do it. Stay the same. It'll make you sick. It'll create diseases in your brain. It'll tell you stories. And what it wants you to do is run. Right now, you're wanting to run the other way. Listen to me. I want you to understand this. You tell your amygdala to shut up. You tell them that you have the abundance mindset and how big your life's going to be. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Your amygdala will fight for you until the death, and you're going to freaking make it. So what are we going to do? Are we all in? And everything that you said you wanted, the lifestyle you said you want, the results you said you wanted, the money you said you wanted, we're going to go get that? Or are you going to get paralyzed with fear and let that amygdala take over and stay the same and go back to your old life? In order to get to your new life, you got to give up your old one. What's it going to be? Are you ready for your new life? Boom! Push them. Push them, push them, push them, push them, push them. You have to, because once you do, then it allows you to do what you do best. Which is help people. Okay?
Yep.
Man, love you, bro. Love that hat, dude. Seriously.
Same here, bro.
Hey,
I appreciate you, bro.
I'll see you soon,
Yep,
big dog.
you as well.
All right, baby.
Peace.
All right, guys.